Et salut à tous, nouvelle vidéo, c'est Alex PJ avec Simon and Panda.
What's good, guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Big guy.
Very good.
Voilà, il est là. Et on va lui poser quelques questions pour en savoir un peu plus sur lui, sur ses trainings, etc. Donc PJ, je te laisse commencer. En même temps, vous allez voir un peu des images du training qu'on a fait ensemble. Un plaisir de s'entraîner aujourd'hui. À chaque fois que je vais aux États-Unis, on me force à faire les bras. Cette fois-ci, voilà, il m'a forcé à faire les bras. Arms day.
All I understood was arms day.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, your life.
Firstly, thank you for wanting to train with me. You know, you guys messaged, reached out, and said you want to train. I saw what you guys are doing. It's positive. It's good. So I was like, yeah, for sure. You know, so it's good to meet you guys. For those who don't know me, my name's Simeon Panda, and it's quite hard to sum up everything that I do, but my main focus is just putting out motivation. You know, my main focus is encouraging people to train and enjoy it. You know, I love training. I've been training for 18 years, and I love it. I love it. It's done a lot for my life. It's such a positive force in my life, you know, and I want other people to be able to experience the positives that I've experienced. So that's my main thing, you know, and in doing that, I do it through videos, I do it through social media.
Could you tell us about your size, weight, age?
Oh, okay, let's start with age. I'm 31 years old.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah? Oh, awesome. You?
So
How old are you?
29.
29, okay, awesome, man. But yeah, I'm 6'1". I weigh about 105 kilos, which I think is about 230 pounds.
Okay. And just where are you from?
London, born and raised in London. Lived all over London, North London, South East London, you know. And but now living in LA, I'm loving it. Been here for
For
6
how long?
months. 6 months. Body time from Simeon Panda.
So when did you start to lift? What is your favorite part to
Okay,
train?
I started lifting in around 2001. So long time now, you know.
Yeah.
I think I was about 14, 15 years old when I first picked up a dumbbell. And I've said it many times, and like every time I do an interview, I loved training from the first time I picked up a dumbbell. It just felt fantastic for me. It's like I can literally remember the first time. Like, I know it sounds a bit far-fetched, but I remember picking up a dumbbell, going for a few pumps on like bicep curls, and thinking, this is awesome. This is me, you know. Favorite exercise? It's difficult. There's a few. It's got to be one of the big lifts. So for me, it's going to be between squats and deadlifts. You
Okay.
know, nothing is as taxing as those exercises. You know, and gives you as much satisfaction. You know, I think squats would be the one that when I achieve like a PB on, I'm over the moon. You know, to be able to rise out of a deep squat on like a weight that you really wanted to hit, gives me the best satisfaction.
We know now how you train, but can you explain? And do you like to lift heavy? How many sets do you
Yeah,
do?
we'll discuss in volume, you know, and for me, I always say I train with a lot of volume. I feel like I get the most benefit that way, and that is my addition of intensity. I think every exercise, every session that someone does should have an aspect of intensity. Whether that's a certain rep range, or whether it's the tempo that you lift. For me, it's the amount of volume. That is the intensity. The fact
Okay.
that, you know, I train like 8 to 10 sets of high volume, you know. So
And did you compete?
yes, I competed back in 2013, 2014,
Okay.
consecutively, like about 4 to 5 shows back to back. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd been training like 10 years before I did my first competition.
Okay.
No, I went to a show. And
Okay,
after
and you say,
watching
"I
the
want
show,
to-"
I was like, I want to be up there, you
Okay.
know. And then I thought, yeah, and I trained towards it, and I did it, you know, and I enjoyed it at the time. But it's not something I planned to pursue. It's not the reason I got into bodybuilding in the first place.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed it.
What are your maximum rep? Like we talk about squat and deadlift.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
I'm okay for deadlift. I think my maximum is 288 or 290 kg. I'm been chasing 300 kg.
C'est une masse. Parce qu'on en a parlé avec Alex, vraiment c'est un mec qui pousse très très lourd cette masse.
Especially on
Fucking strong.
deep squat.
Yeah,
and
no, it's
deadlift.
funny because my squat weight has gone down over the years since I started implementing the depth, but it doesn't bother me because I feel 10 times more comfortable hitting the weight as I hit it now than back when I, you know, on YouTube squatting 6 plates where I was never really comfortable, you know. Now heavy is relative to the individual, you know, relative to the individual. So for me, when I say heavy, I mean what I find challenging.
Could you explain your diet and how do you keep your abs all the year?
Now, when I first started training, you know, when I was like 14, 15, I had a six-pack.
Yeah.
And I have never not had one since then. The way that I manage to do that now is I do eat clean, like as much as I can. Like 99% of the time I'm eating as healthy as I can. I have cheat meals as and when I feel like. That's
Like,
my
I
way.
wanted to know about cheat meal. How many a week? How many a month?
There's no quota for it. It's when I feel like I want one. You know, so
Usually, so 5 meals a day.
yeah,
And
yeah.
not too much carbs.
Not too much carbs. For me personally, I don't eat too much carbs. I do eat carbs, though. I'm not one of these people that say no carbs, or carbs is the devil. No, carbs is fine. You know, it's okay. I just eat the right carbs. I eat lots of whole grains, whole grain rice, whole grain pasta.
Just about cheat meal. What is your favorite cheat meal?
I like pasta. Like Italian food is my favorite.
Yeah.
So a good pasta meal, whether it's a carbonara or whether it's lasagna or even just spaghetti bolognese.
Stop, I'm hungry.
Cheesecakes.
Ah, yes, the same.
you're good.
Like Cheesecake Factory.
Yes. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Like, I love
Best
cheesecake.
invention.
Cheesecake is my favorite. So if I had to choose one thing, it would be cheesecake. Cheesecake all day.
Okay, you're my bro.
And put your head under the bench. Yeah, man.
My elbows don't like that.
You're too heavy.
Yeah, my elbows.
You're too heavy.
Now, how do you see you in 5 years? What are your projects? And
5 years, I hope to be on billboards, acting in major films or in huge TV series. You know, like that's where I'm aiming for. You know, and that's what I'm making.
You take some lesson?
Oh yeah, I've
acting?
started my acting lessons. I've started them about a month or two ago. It's
Okay.
going very well. You know, I'm with a commercial agency, so yeah. Well, let's just watch this space. You know, but I'm excited.
Action movie?
Action movie, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Action movie, man.
Guys, see the exercise I just saw PJ do? If you're not strong on it, have a pillow there in case you fall, in case you fall flat on your face on the last one.
And what about your YouTube channel? What do you publish on it?
Since I've been out here and been able to, with the cooperation of my good friend and videographer Jake, I've been able to increase my frequency, you know? So as well as recording my own stuff, Jake comes out with me and we shoot together as much as possible. And yeah, it's been great, you know? Before, it was hard to get that frequency and
Même
put it
si,
out.
même si vous ne parlez pas anglais, vous pouvez aller checker sa chaîne. Il y aura forcément des entraînements, ça motive. Il y a des choses aussi type motivation avec de la musique. Et forcément, voir un gros physique, c'est que inspirant.
Maybe you don't know, but you have our brand.
Yeah.
Body Time.
Yeah.
That's our brand. That tank top.
Oh, awesome.
That's
yeah,
one too. The pants.
I liked it. I saw the tracksuit with a hood and stuff, and I was going to ask you because the
Yeah.
brand looks wicked.
It's a pleasure. We can send you.
Okay.
And what about yours?
Yeah.
How do you start? How did you
Oh,
start?
brand-wise, okay, so I'm working Just Lift. You see Just Lift everywhere.
Yeah,
Everything Just
Yeah,
Lift.
yeah, Just Lift.
Just Lift for me
C'est ça marche.
is more than just a brand. It started off as a message to people. When I started using social media, I noticed there was a lot of talk of all sorts. Because like when I always say this, when I started training, I was trained at home. So for the first like 5 years, I was at home, had no influences, and there was no Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. It was just me and my weights, and all I did was just lift. You know. So when I started posting, I would hashtag just lift. So just basically telling people, look, man, like forget all the negative stuff you read, forget comparing yourself to anyone else, just lift. So today we used the arm blaster. That's what I use.
Well, you do materials too.
Exactly, knee wraps, things to do with training that I use. I wanted to use make it in the way that it would serve me best.
Today, we've done 2 weight training exercises for biceps and triceps, and 2 body weight exercises for biceps and triceps. So we've just done, I done close grip push-ups, diamond push-ups, and these guys did, I don't remember what the exercise is called. It's
bench triceps.
bench triceps. So, and now we're going to finish off with some pull-ups, close grip for the biceps.
And do you have some advice for like a young people who start lifting at the gym or body weight?
Please, please make sure that you embrace the foundations, and by that I mean, like just start with the basics. The basics work, and they will continue to work for a long period of time when you're a beginner. So by that I mean, in your first year or two, stick with the basics, you know, your bench press, your deadlift, your squat, and do them in the basic way. So you don't need to start incorporating all sorts of crazy stuff. Not that the crazy stuff doesn't work, but that comes later. You have to start with the foundations. And like I said, you guys, when you're watching Instagram and YouTube, etc., you're seeing people that have been training for a long time. I'm sure you've been training a long time. You've been training a long time.
Yeah.
We've been training for years. So when we do new stuff, it's because we've done the old stuff before.
Yeah, yes.
So to finish, could you tell us something in French?
You know the word.
Oui.
Perfect. One more.
No,
could you say garder la pêche?
Okay.
Garde la pêche.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good accent.
Awesome.
Good accent.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. That was fantastic.
Thank you again.
Wicked, man.